Hi class, for this problem, we're going to be using technology, and unfortunately, most of us don't actually have the code on the calculator. So we're going to be running StatCrunch, and they want a 90% confidence interval for the standard deviation. So let me just point out to the formula that we'll be using. So the standard deviation is going to be this main formula. Um, and in order to get there, well, technically, first you calculate the variance and then you take the square root of the previous answer. But for this one, this is what we're going to do. So if you do have the code, so newer calculators may actually have it. You could actually use it on the exam, but most of us don't have the actual software that can run it. Now, for your homework assignments, if it wants technology, it is going to ask you to run it. So please open up StatCrunch, and you can open up any of the data sets or an empty file, and this is the process. So you're going to go to stats, then you're going to go to variance statistics, one sample, and we have a summary on that actual problem. So this is it. The sample variance, it's going to be 2.08. So 2.08. The actual size of the sample, it's going to be 12. And since they want us to do a confidence interval, we're going to modify this. I believe it's a 90. Let me double check. So 90, we don't need the mean, and 12, it wants a sample size. That's actually it. So here's the problem though, if we're using technology. So StatCrunch only calculates the variance. So for that problem, we're still gonna have to take the square root of those two. So let me go to the problem and basically write it as if we had the technology. So in this case, I'm just gonna say that the 90% CI for, and they want the standard deviation. It's going to be based on the following formula. So give me just a second. So we're going to have the values of sigma bounded by the following two. So it's going to have the n minus 1 times the values of s squared over the chi-square value on the left, square root of n minus 1 s squared of the chi-square value on the right. And then technically, this one's going to actually use the square root of the previous answer. So I just happened to put in the code here. The code only gives you the actual variance. So we're going to have to take the square root of those two. So in this case, it's going to be the square root of the 5.001 2972, and then the 1.1628889, and let me double check. So 5 and 116, the actual values of the actual standard deviation ends up being a upper limit of 2.2364 and 1.0784. I'm running to 4 decimal places. Let me double check the calculator. So 1.0784, 2.2364, also to that value. And then let me just provide the sentence. In this case, the 90% CI for sigma is 1.0784 to 2.2364. The units are seconds. And that would be it. I do need you to tell me if you're using technology on the exams, the actual command. I actually don't know the command because my calculator doesn't have it. So I would have written basically StatCrunch or in this case, provide the code. I actually don't remember the command. I think it's just, let me see if this one has it. So it would be along the lines of sigma int. But this is literally out of memory because I actually never installed it. Now, nonetheless, your homework assignments, if you're not matching on the rounding, it's going to want you to run them on StatCrunch. And then basically that's pretty much it on this particular one. I just wanted to do a problem in case your calculator actually does have the proper commands.